guys, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about 3 ways to stop impulse buying, which I'm so stoked about because I'm obsessed with figuring out ways to get myself to stop impulse buying, and I think I have a really good system for this now. I've been able to save about at least 10 to 15% of my saving by doing these 3 steps, and so watch through for the video so you can also be doing that for yourself. But the first tip I can give you for stopping impulse buying is to write it down. It's ridiculously simple. It's so silly in a way, but writing down what you're spending, and I'm not talking not just like in your notes app on your phone, although you can start with that way, but physically writing it down in a little notebook that you have for that. I'll show you my notebook that I have for this in a second. It makes such a big difference just because every single day before I go to bed, I force myself to write it down, and then I'm able to not just reflect on everything I've been spending, but I actually have to go and look it up. It's so easy to impulse buy nowadays just because with Amazon, one-click buys, I mean, enough said there, you know what I mean. It's so easy because you might be having multiple credit cards, you might have multiple debit cards, and you might have multiple ways that you can spend, and online shopping just makes it so easy. You don't even need to get in your car. You don't even have to see physically how much stuff you picked up. It's all just there for you to just click and think, oh, it's just gonna pop up. And so there's a lot less of what we call like the friction of paying or the pain of paying, just because you can click a button and try to forget about it really quickly. And so we're spending a lot more than we have been. And so if you write it down on a piece of paper, it's so easy, it's so dumb. It just takes a lot of discipline. You'll save a lot of money right away from doing that. And so this has actually been shown improvement, which is ridiculous. And I can say for myself, that alone has already saved at least 10% of spending, just because it makes it a little bit more painful. So think of more tactics that you can do and induce pain on your spending, and that's a quick and easy example, but there's a lot of ways others to do that as well. And so the second tip I have for reducing impulse buying and avoiding it is to delay your purchases. And so I've tried this in a couple of different ways. One idea was to only buy things on Saturdays that wasn't groceries. And so the idea with that is if I saved all of my spending and all of my purchase buying to just on Saturdays online, like at stores and things like that, I would then be able to see in one big chunk everything across the week that I was trying to spend money on. And then I also had a lot of time to think about if I did or did not want to spend money on it. So when I did that, I actually spent probably 25% less of what I spent. I analyzed my finances quite a bit because I'm always looking for ways to save money. So this is an extreme one, but it is one that's going to save you a lot of money just because you really have to think about every single purchase. And not only that, it's going to take a lot of time, and it takes a lot of like thought to set that up and then to go back to the places that you wanted to get things. And so it's a bit more extreme thing, but if you're really budgeted right now, I highly recommend it because you will figure out what is needed and what is not needed based on what is cutting out of your Saturday time, or what is cutting out of, you're able to see the whole expense of your budget at once. And so if you know, okay, I'm about to rack up X amount of money purchases because I can see the full week of like little bits and pieces all in one chunk, huge difference. You'll save a lot of money by doing that. A less extreme version of this is to also just delay your spending by 1 or 2 days. And so if you do that and you say, okay, if I want to get this from Amazon or buy this from a website, like from this whole month, I'm not going to buy anything right away. I'm going to wait at least 48 hours before I make any purchases. That's also really helpful just because it's not as extreme as the Saturday situation or the designated day out of the week situation, but you will save money just because you'll have time to think about it, because right when you want something, this is like a psychological thing too, that's the moment of your wants being the highest as well. And so if you're able to reduce that, you're able to realize what's actually important and what was just really important in the moment, and then just cut out all the things that are just important in the moment because you don't need them. And so my last tip is another way for those who really want to save money, and that is getting an accountability buddy. And so there's this for weight loss, there's this for everything, but my sister and I do this with each other, and there's 2 ways I've done this with her. One is I decide what I'm going to be spending that week. And so this is helpful with tip number 1 in writing everything down. I decide what I'm going to spend that week, and I will tell her this is my budget for the week, and I have to text her how I did at the end of the week. I have to show her all my little sheets of what I spent, or we just like call each other and figure it out on our weekly check-ins. And so the reason this is helpful is because if you have to actually show it to someone, you're not just being accountable to yourself, but you're kind of getting graded in a way. And so if you think about when you're younger, or if you're in school now, whenever you have to report back on something or turn something in, it's not just like your judgment on yourself, if that makes sense, but it's how someone else perceives you, and you psychologically want to do well. And so that's just helpful because it's going to stop you from doing that. The other way I do this with my sister is in the moment purchases. And so if I know I'm going out shopping for a certain day, or if I know I'm going on vacation, or if I know I'm going to a restaurant and I really want to keep it under a certain amount, I do this all the time at restaurants because it's so easy to just sit in the moment and be like, you know what, I'm treating myself right now. I'm with my friends, everyone's doing this, everyone's getting dessert and extras and all of this, and I'm not gonna sit here and just like dip out myself. I don't know why, whenever I go out to eat, that happens every single time. And so I'll text my sister ahead of time and I'll be like, I'm going to this restaurant, I'm gonna text you what I get, I'm gonna text you my bill at the end of it. If it is more than X amount, I owe you 25 bucks. Or choose a dollar amount, 25, 50, depending on how extreme you want to make it, how strict you want to be with your budget, and then stick with it. And that's a really fast and easy way, because when you're sitting there, you need that extra pressure in those like high intensity situations to make sure that you're not going to overspend. And so that's one that works really well. And so thank you guys so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. Comment below if this was helpful or like as well. And please subscribe if you want to hear more budget tips videos, because I'm going to be posting these pretty frequently. That's going to be the content that I produce really closely this month, and I would love to tailor this to whatever you guys like. And so let me know what you think, because I love saving money just because I want to spend money on the things that are most important to me and be able to have money to travel and things like that. And so it's really important that when you just look at your week to week, or like the less important things, that you're not just setting things and spending things willy-nilly. So thank you so much, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.